So this week I went to Belgium and Italy. More specifically, I went to Brussels, which is the capital of Belgium, before visiting northern Italy in Trieste and Venice. I enjoyed and spent more time in Belgium than I did in Italy. I took this trip by myself, and I left all of my medication at home. So it was an interesting week in terms of like how I was feeling emotionally, but there also, I feel like, was a lot of growth too. This was a really, really hard thing to do, and there were many setbacks, such as me getting locked out, or some creepy guy coming up to me on the street, just little things like that that at one point would have scared me and made me want to go into a hole and not come out, and just stay in that hole. But I didn't. I came out of the hole. I ate at restaurants alone for the first time. I've always been afraid to do that. I took out my journal in a cafe because I wanted to write what I saw, and so I did. I visited a museum with some of the most beautiful instruments that I've ever seen, and I just was amazed at the amount of detail that people put into making these things. Not even just the way that they sound, but the way that they look. It was just incredible seeing the amount of details. Among other things, I navigated public transportation by myself, even though I got lost. I accidentally pulled the alarm in the train station, which was terrifying. I really thought I was going to get arrested, but I didn't, which was nice. The man was nice when he saw that I was just a young girl almost on the verge of tears because I can't read in Danish or whatever language it was. That was not the correct button. The correct button I needed was above that one, but anyways, that turned out okay. Just a ton of stuff that I did, and one thing that always sticks to me is like, whenever I was younger, my dad would always tell me like, it only gets harder from here. And I think that is true, and sometimes I'm really glad that he said that, because, you know, he's right. Like, it does only get harder from here. Like, I will never have the opportunity to take a nap in school again, or color as an assignment, or all of those things, but life does get harder. That is true. And you also get stronger, and that is the other half of that phrase that I think was never said, is that you get stronger. Like, you are able to face things that you never thought that you would face, and do things that you never thought that you would be capable of doing. You know, like if somebody was like, even I never felt like I was ready to take this trip to Europe, and this week I went to 2 foreign countries by myself, and if that's not growth, then I don't know what is. And I'm amazed at the resilience of the human spirit and the ability to have courage whenever things are hard, or they're scary, or they're unfamiliar. I remember when I flew to Boston to get my visa, I was terrified because I didn't know how planes worked, and now it feels so simple. And the payoff is amazing, the things that you get to see. And so I'm really thankful to have had these experiences and been able to see these things. And overall, I just am really proud of myself for pushing myself, putting myself out there, and doing things that scare me, because my fear hasn't changed. That fear is still there, and life is still harder, and it does still get harder and harder. But again, it's not about that fear. It's about what you do with it and how you face it. Thanks for watching.